Hi, everybody. It's me, Teresa Perrin, and this is my stock market watch list for Thursday, December 29th, 2022. Please note that I am recording it at market close, after our market close on Wednesday, December 28th, because tomorrow morning I need to be at my doctor's bright and early before 7 a.m. for an outpatient procedure. Guys, if I do get home in time for market open, then trust me, I am not going to be any mood. Plus, I will probably be somewhat high as a kite from the whatever conscious sedation that they give me for this surgical procedure. So, I doubt that I would be able to, even if I wanted to, make a proper video. Plus, when it wears off, guys, I'm just giving you a heads up. I will be in a lot of pain tomorrow, so please don't be expecting much video-wise from me, which is why I'm recording this tonight. Anyways, I hope that you find it useful. I did spend a lot of time looking over the market in the after hours to try to give you some good stocks to check out tomorrow. So let's get started, and please remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Always do your own DD, and if you could, smash that like button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it as it helps with the algorithm. Thank you. Okay, guys, we're going to start with BXRX, and if you follow me on Twitter, you know that I called this out. I started watching this as soon as it broke out in the after hours, and I thought it was going to just pull back. It did pull back slightly down to like 240s, then broke out higher, and I think I didn't even get around to mention it to you guys until probably somewhere around $3. However, this is continuing to have small pullbacks followed by moves higher, and I'm noticing a trend here. This was previously a reverse split, I think several months back. It could be somewhere between 1 and 3, maybe even more than that at this point. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that it did have a recent reverse split. And it's had some ups and downs, but I think that we're starting to see that move higher now, and I'm noticing a trend with stocks that have had reverse splits and never really got a big run up afterwards. They seem to be starting to come back to life this week, and I'm wondering if that's going to be something hot going into the new year. So definitely worth keeping your eye on if you're familiar with any of those or you've had it happen to you. But BXRX is moving. There is no news that I can find, and I highly recommend you keep an eye on it because I think that this is going to continue into tomorrow, and I wouldn't be shocked if news broke. Maybe not this week, but next. Somebody always knows something, and I don't think that this is just moving because it feels like it. Mullen Automotive, MULN. All right, guys, this is also up in the after hours, and no news. I'm not quite sure what is going on other than the fact that Tesla was up. Today was the first green day it's had in quite a while. So perhaps somebody knows something and Tesla is going to continue higher. Again, I don't think Tesla's done falling, but I could be wrong on that. That's just my thought. I truly believe that it's going to fall to under $100 or around $100 before it's done moving, maybe even less, depending on market conditions, of course. But guys, maybe we're going to see a slight rally in the next day or two. I'm not quite sure, at least with Tesla, and maybe the other EVs are going to follow. The other EV that I noticed that was up today was CNN. I think that was the only one, really, that had significant moves to the upside. So kind of strange, but definitely keep an eye on Mullen. Perhaps, we get something PR-wise tomorrow because somebody, like I said, always knows something. It's not an accident, in my opinion. Sorry, guys, this was just another BXRX that got mixed in here because I was starting this list after I had already taken that first one. But COMS is another stock that finally got a break to the upside today. This is something that I've been watching. I wouldn't be too keen on this unless we see it break back above 8. And ultimately, guys, I would really like to see it back above 10 cents. It's had quite a pullback, and I think it's ready for that reversal. But again, I'm not sure that anything is cooking. This is not really a good week for news, as a lot of companies will hold their PR knowing that the volume is very low this week. So even if something did happen, guys, I wouldn't expect them to really release it if they're at least, if it were my company, I wouldn't be releasing it into the market until after the new year, because again, this is tax loss harvesting time. So you've got a lot of people doing last minute selling of stocks that are down, which is why you're seeing your stocks that have already been hit really hard hit even harder this week, guys. It's just the reality of the situation. And when people have to make choices to help with their taxes, they're going to sell ones that have been hit the worst. So that being said, I wouldn't expect really a lot of news until next week, but you never know. CABA, C-A-B-A. All right, guys, this has been a favorite of mine. It got a really big pullback. It got close to hitting $10 before it had that pullback. Today, we are back to the upside, up 5.9% today. Excellent day. I expect this to continue. There was really no reason for the sell-off. Volume has been very low other than the RSI needed to cool off. So now it's get ready for that trend to continue upwards and ultimately for us to fill that gap. Off the top of my head, it's somewhere around $11.60. Rent, R-E-N-T, Rent the Runway. All right, guys. Those of you that follow me know that this is my unofficial play of the week because we didn't have play of the week this week due to Christmas. But I believe that Rent is going to continue making moves, and we've had a pretty good week so far, and we are still trending up. Guys, I think that any day now, and it may not be until next week because, again, volume is significantly lower than normal, this stock is going to make a even bigger run and push all the way up through $5, kind of like what SMMT is doing today. Speaking of SMMT, here it is. So I expect something very similar to happen. If you've been following SMMT, I expect that pattern to actually play out similarly in Rent. Now, Rent is moving off of excellent earnings, guys. And SMMT is moving for quite a while now. It's in an uptrend due to a deal that it announced previously that brings it good revenue. But anyways, it's continuing higher and hit $4.97. I did a video on it that really explains what's going on better with this stock and where I see it going. But guys, I do think that this is going to trend higher. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out and definitely keep this on your radar tomorrow because I do believe we break that $5 and possibly make a new 52-week high. The 52-week high so far we've got a week or so ago was $5.40. I'm looking for the break above that tomorrow. TAL, T-A-L. Okay, so if you follow me and you follow my channel and me on Twitter, then you are very well aware of this stock because it was my play of the week now going back 3 weeks ago, and it did very, very well. Yet it's had a pullback, and actually the pullback was further back than I expected. But guys, I trade off of the yearly chart for my swing trades, which this is. And looking at the yearly chart, there's no reason for me to sell because this is very normal. A stock needs to pull back. And we got to remember that this ran very hard for several days. Now we've had this cool off period and right back around where it broke out the last time from these levels. So coincidentally, we're at them again. Now we're consolidating. Maybe we get another day or two of consolidation here. Maybe we move higher tomorrow. I'm not quite sure, but I know that it has a tendency to pull back, consolidate, and then make its next leg. And I believe that could be any time now, guys. And I do expect this to go back, break that $9.63. I think that's where it's at, and head back up to that $19 and change where it fills the gap. So keep an eye on it because I'm telling you another big move will be coming in TAL. Not positive it'll be tomorrow, but should definitely have your attention on it. You don't want to miss it. And the options chain has had an opportunity to cool off significantly. The IV got crushed down hard. So if you were holding options and you did not sell, then you'll notice the IV has dropped significantly. So depending on where you bought them, you may have lost money. Or if you got in before the IV crush, well, yeah, you probably did lose some money, but you're back to where you started. And if you bought them further out, then you don't really care. But HELBZ, HLBZ, All right, guys, this is what I would call a great product of tax loss harvesting. There's a lot of people that lost money in HellBiz this year, so they've decided, in my opinion, to tax loss harvest it. So what that means is they decide to sell their position and take it as a tax loss. Now, a lot of them will likely come back into it after they wait that 30 days to buy it back. They have to wait 30 days from the day they sold. So you're going to notice that a lot of these plays that got hit hard in December from tax loss harvesting, and some of them did it in November, which is probably why it's been falling for the last 2 months, they tend to start rising again. Sometimes the end of December, which is why you see a Santa Claus rally. But this year, I don't think so, guys. I think we're going to see that happen more towards January or into February. And I'd say mid-January into February. Not 100% certain of the exact time. Nobody knows. But again, there's others that may become interested in this. Now this has hit a really 52-week low today. An all-time low today. And it's a very attractive buying price, in my opinion, for HellBiz. I loaded the boat, and I think you may start to see it creep up higher from here. However, keep in mind, there's still 2 more days of tax loss harvesting. So if you're somebody who can't deal with it going down another penny or two, potentially, then you may want to hold off. But just remember, nobody can time the bottom. You may miss out on an opportunity because this, on the same token, might just start rocketing out of nowhere tomorrow or the next day as well. Anything can happen, guys, and I'm telling you, this is a steal, in my opinion, for HellBiz. It's kind of a joke, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see the CEO buying more at this price, because I'm sure he's thinking on the same lines as I am. All right, MMAT. This is another one, guys. Now, I'm not going to get into my ethical opinion on this company because, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't have high regards for the whole MMTLP, and I have to question their part in that whole ordeal, and I don't like it. But that being said, MMAT is making moves higher. In the after hours, last time I looked, it was actually up to $1.17, and this is heavily shorted. And there's a lot of room in the stock to run. I think it could potentially see a very nice run. I think what we've been seeing also in this is some tax loss harvesting as well. And guess what? Now we're starting to see it make that move back to the upside. Does it pull back again? It's possible, but it's also possible it rips further up. Because I don't think it's going to stay down in this $1 range for much longer, to be very honest with you. But keep an eye on it because it could go either way. There's still 2 more days, so take everything I say here with a grain of salt and that in the back of your mind, because you never know. And retail investors, keep in the back of your mind, they do not hold lately. They get a little bit of gains, and rather than holding out for a bigger gain, they're in and out because they know what's been happening, and we're in a bear market, and you can't blame them. All right, ACOR. So those of you that follow me and watch these videos are well aware that I've been calling out Accor for a while and saying I'm waiting for this to break that 64 cents. Well, guess what? Yesterday, I got an alert on my phone. It broke the 64 cents. Well, it broke it, but it never got above 65. Then all of a sudden today, I got another one. Boom, broke out. Was all excited, got up to 69 cents, and it pulled back. But guess what? In after hours, it's back to the upside. Guys, I think Accor has a big run in it. This is something I've been watching for several months. I had ran it up before above $1, sold the majority of it, kept a little bit, bought some more when it was down below because I didn't want to hold too much. But now it's at that sweet position again. When guess what? I'm putting my money into HellBiz, so I don't have extra to add to it, but I have some in it. So I got my skin in the game and I'm happy. But Accor, I think, guys, you're going to see a nice run. And eventually I expect this to also make a move like CABA or SMMT. It's at that same level where we see in these breakouts and very similar patterns to what I'm seeing. So I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple months from now, we're sitting here and I'm telling you about Accor and it's at $5. Not joking. Again, no promises. I'm not a genie or anything like that, but I just am noticing trends and patterns, and this has been on my radar for that similar sort of setup. All right, HTGM. Guys, I have no idea why this is running in after hours, but no idea why it pulled back today either. Very, very low float now in HTGM. This has the ability to really make huge moves as well as huge dips. So, cautiously optimistic in this one. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. It could go through the freaking moon up to $20 plus. Or guys, they could crash it back down to $2, $3. I don't know, but if time is not of the essence and you don't really need to worry about what happens today or tomorrow and you're not going to cry over $1 or $2 because that's the way it moves, then go for it. But, if you are somebody who, can't stand taking a dip before a rip or whatever the case may be, or a dip, then rip, and you're not patient for that, then this might not be for you. But HTGM, I do think also has a nice run coming in it. Remember, there are warrants that they're going to want to exercise at $7.50 and $7.75, and you better believe they're going to go for them. There's plenty of time though, but PHVS. This is one that has been on my radar because it continues to make higher highs and higher lows, which we'd like to see for an uptrend. So I think you're going to see this continue to make moves to the upside. CORZ. All right, guys, let me give you a warning on this one. This is probably going to get a very nice pump either today, which would, if you're watching this tonight, I mean Thursday, or Friday. Be careful and do not hold this Friday after the close unless you want to land in OTC land or lose it altogether. CORZ is being delisted from NASDAQ because it filed for bankruptcy the beginning of January. I think that happens the day we come back from the January break, January 2nd. I'm not sure if it's in pre-market or after hours. I wouldn't want to wait to find out. If this does not make a run and you have not gotten in this for the potential run up that you normally see in these stocks prior to that move, and again, no promises, it could dump to and just stay dumped, especially with me telling you the reality of what's going to happen here. But guys, if you know one thing about me, I'm not a pump and dumper. I'm as honest as they come. I expect a pump in this and then a massive sell-off prior to OTC land. So pump most likely will be tomorrow or Friday morning, followed by a big sell-off, and that's because it's going to get delisted from the NASDAQ, which likely it'll end up on OTC, but again, no promises. And that's based on something I read in an article. I looked on NASDAQ and I don't see it, guys, so I'm kind of confused. Maybe it's being told the story, but I'm not willing to risk it and find out. If I see it somewhere, no, I can't confirm it, but that doesn't mean it's not a reality. And perhaps I just didn't look hard enough or something because I haven't had a lot of time this week. But I'm not willing to risk that. So I'm looking for the run up this week, followed by the dump. I'm going to get out well before the dump and be on my merry little way. But again, I'm just telling you from experience on these stocks, it's very strange the way they move. And again, no promises. That's based on the past. Doesn't have to happen. The run-up could have already been what happened last week. Now, SoFi, SOFI. Take a look at this daily chart. It wants to break out so bad and it keeps getting pulled back. But look it's making... well, it's staying about the same because it's not breaking through that resistance, but it is making higher lows. So I think on this next pump tomorrow morning, hopefully we're going to see a nice rebound rally. Again, I think SoFi's been hit hard this week with tax loss harvesting. But look for that move because it is pretty much down by its all-time lows and it's ready for a nice leg up. In my opinion, it doesn't belong there. Now, today, as of Wednesday, in the market, just so you don't feel bad if you're looking at a red portfolio, 4,560 stocks were decliners. Only 1,127 had no movement. And 2,007 advanced were green. So most stocks, guys, were red today, unfortunately. And look at this. Most of them were red over 2%. That's crazy. Anyways, now keep these stocks on your watch list because a lot of time after hour movers can be next day runners. QTNT was our biggest after hour gainer. BXRX, which we talked about, RCRT, Kala, again, KALA, and guys, congrats to those of you that took this play because it was a banger. FOXO. Top losers, ARBK. Now, geez, I think that was on the top gainer earlier today, but I could be wrong. LKFN, OLMA, ADXN, and MTEX. Now, surprisingly, keep an eye on these too. They could either dump harder, but sometimes you get a little bit of a rebound rally when that elastic has been stretched too far. Eventually, it has to give some back, right? So, just saying. All right, now the most active tickers are Tesla. No surprise there, guys. Like I said, keep it on your radar. Again, it could get a little relief run, but ultimately, I really strongly feel that Tesla is going to go under 100 before it's done. Mullen, again, we don't know why, but we talked about that. Apple, AAPL. This, I think, you're looking at a little rebound rally too because this has been hit hard. And after hours, it's up slightly, but it was really down today. So keep it on your radar. COMS, COMS, and we talked about that. The fact that that has one of the most volume tells you something's coming, right? And same with CORZ. And I'm telling you what I think's going on with CORZ. I think they're going to pump it before they dump it.